positive. I'm coming at you raw, unfiltered, ready for action, super excited because the more that this space progresses, that crypto progresses, the more it grows, the more I fall in love with it. And because it's very real, very raw, very visceral. It speaks to the human condition in the most incredible of ways. It's extremely dynamic, and I am blessed. I'm so blessed to be part of the Crypto Vigilante. And that's really what I want to talk to you guys about today, because there is so much insanity in the market right now. So many mixed voices, so many mixed messages, so many mixed signals that you don't even know who the heck to follow, what to do. And I'd be honest, guys, like if I was just rolling on my own, if I didn't have the team that I had, I would be looking for a community of solid analysts that I can rely on. And thank God that's what we offer. And I'm just like very thrilled to be part of this. And I kind of feel bad for those who don't have what I have or what we have, for those who are not part of a network that they can trust, because it can get really nutty out there. It can be, I honestly don't know how the heck a lot of you manage without having crypto Bitcoin OGs that you can trust to watch your back. I really don't know how you guys do it. More power to you if you're doing that. For example, man, like with how much craziness is happening right now, we're in a bull market, but then again, the conditions of crypto are such that, you know, we're very affected by the macro events in the economy. Just today, Ed Bugos dropped an incredible piece on Monero and Bitcoin. That alone, if you read that write-up, that alone will like give you so much clarity. I honestly don't know how you guys do it. People that don't, and I don't know another place like the Crypto Vigilante. And yes, it is a shameless plug. Because it is reality. If you want to get in with us, get to know us, subscribe to our free newsletter at cryptovigilante.io. But let's get into it, guys. Happy birthday, Monero. Monero, our darling, our baby, the hope of the world. Congratulations on, I think it's called AxeSwap, the new thing that's happening with Bitcoin Cash. Very cool move. I love it. Congratulations on that. I also want to congratulate the Monero community. That's pretty much the same Tari community. I hear you guys are launching mainnet finally on May 6th. So congrats on that. I just saw a beautiful big owl fly over me. Very adequate for the Monero meme. So congratulations, Monero, on your awesome 11th anniversary. Everyone in crypto is trying to figure things out as to like how to cause disruption in the world, and Monero has been that community that has really stayed true to that which matters most. So congratulations, guys. Congratulations for that, for being the badasses that you are and setting the standard. Also congratulations to all the other privacy coins that we love, like Zano. You guys are kicking ass. You guys are doing great. Congratulations to Pirate Chain, which is still the most private cryptocurrency in the world right now, with shielded addresses by default, with an anonymity set of over 14 million per transaction. So it's just very interesting because the crypto space is beholden to happenings and circumstances that are extrinsic to itself. And a lot of the capital infusion that is coming into the space through BTC is one which focuses mainly on that which fits in alignment with traditional finance, big tech, Wall Street. There's nothing wrong with that. However, this is a space that thrives on building upon itself and causing disruption in the market. That's just the nature of this beast. And so while the Wall Street banksters buy BTC or get into crypto through crypto-backed holding companies, they may not be saying this, but they're constantly on the lookout for that in crypto, which could completely make their investments obsolete. Now, everyone in the space is, for the most part, philosophically and economically aligned with these Wall Street initiatives, because why not? That's where the money is. That's where the money's flowing. So if I align my incentives with theirs, I can profit. Great. Many are thinking like that. Actually, most are. And you see a lot of investing going around this ethos, this mindset. However, there are innovators out there that are relentless in desiring to break the mold, to take things to the next level. People that are not satisfied with just appeasing to the status quo. These people are very dangerous to the establishment, and these people work in silence and hold the sword of Damocles over the entire space at all times, wherein which at any moment, just one application that goes viral can destabilize the entire space by giving people more peace, prosperity, and freedom in a way that is truly person to person. I want to give a big shout out to the Solana team from Zeus, which recently gave us, turned Solana into a Bitcoin full node, where now Solana itself competes directly with all centralized exchanges. That alone is an example of a threshold that has been already crossed, where everyone in the space now understands that a blockchain has the potential of being much more than what people have always traditionally thought a blockchain to be. That a blockchain itself can do the work of an exchange in a peer-to-peer way. Guys, this is huge. This is unlike anything that I understand this, but I'm realizing that people are just now starting to realize these realities that are proper to crypto. And it's in my opinion magnificent to see the realizations happening across the board, where people are realizing that they have incredible power in their hands. We live in a place right now where even code is going to just become ever more accessible to the masses. If you are not preparing for disruption, and if you think that Bitcoin and crypto is nothing else than just another boring arm of traditional finance or traditional big tech, if you think that Bitcoin and crypto have been tamed and became boomer and boring, I hate to break it to you. The reality is that we are in the position of constant disruption. It seems obvious and almost like reasonable to approach the crypto space from all perspectives and to be open to all worldviews, because indeed we live in uncertain times. And when you live in uncertain times, you need objectivity. And I mean, again, I do not know how the heck you guys do it on your own. We're here to serve. My love, my passion is to make sure that you guys grow in awareness, that you guys grow in knowledge, because the most important aspect of these technologies are the human beings that are using these technologies. You, the human person that enjoys and embraces crypto, even if it's just as a pass-through to make more money, you are the most important person. You are the most important aspect of this entire space. It's what happens between both of your ears that matters most. It is not the technology. It is your knowledge and awareness of what these technologies are capable of offering you, your loved ones, and the world. The more educated you are, the better off I am. You are the node in the network. You are the important link in the chain. The technology just brings us together, and the technology augments who we are as human beings to one another, in allowing for us to participate in voluntary exchange, P2P, person to person. However, if the audience that receives this message, if the users of these technologies are not educated about these technologies as much as they should, then these networks hurt. And so that's what drives me. What drives me, my passion is to educate you guys. My passion is to create an environment where the research happens in a way that is awesome. We're not an echo chamber. My ideas and my perspective on crypto history at times are not the most popular, and that's cool because I'm a renegade. I am okay being a contrarian. But thank God that for my inner circle, I have dudes that have opposite perspectives that watch my back as I look after theirs. And there's always this tension, right? Which is another word for attraction, where it's easy for someone like me to see what is possible and what can be or can happen with these technologies. And that needs to be tempered by analysts that are objective, that are actually pointing to the world as it is right now. And so it's this balancing act where I find myself with my analyst teams having a back and forth discussion and conversation between the world as is and what it can become. So in a sense, it's like there's the preservation of wealth that happens naturally by having the best technical analysts that focus, and that are actually the most experienced in the entire crypto space, that focus on the space as it is. That's where the preservation of wealth is found, in having that conservative approach that's objective, that honors the TA. And then you have the person, and us, every one of us has that in our own way, where we can look around the corner and we know what's going to happen next, and we can be first to market in many aspects of crypto. You will notice that in crypto, you will never find a person that is an expert in everything, because it's impossible. You really have to be a super polymath, because again, this is interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary. You can't be an all-star full stack developer, incredible marketer that understands memetics, and at the same time, the best TA who also understands fundamental analysis, who's also a cryptographer or mathematician. That's an alien. And so something that I've been personally encountering is I keep asking myself, whenever I see someone new on the internet, I ask myself, is that even real? Is that an AI? And it seems as if there was a moment in time where those of us who came before the age of AI and became people that you can verify are real on the internet, we have a responsibility to take care of that reputation and that trust that humanity has conveyed on us by giving the most objective research and education possible. Because moving forward, I don't know if it happens to you, but for me all the time is that person talking to me on the internet even a real person? Is it a bot? So people who are now trying to figure out how to establish a reputation are having to climb an uphill battle. So I am honored that you guys lend me your ear, your time, because it is with purest and most beautiful intention that we bring our research to you. There is so much bullshit in crypto, guys, that I honestly, again, I do not know how people do it without having a badass team like the one I have. I get to venture into crazy shit, and people see me and talking in the wild, and they're like, whoa, he really goes out there. Whoa, he must be crazy. He must be nuts. Guys, the reason why I get to explore things that are very new and controversial is because I have a badass fucking team. My investment in my personal life is fully guided by a rock star team that watches my back. And it is that rock star team that is multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary, that sees crypto from many different perspectives. We have big blockers, small blockers. We have privacy enthusiasts. We have people that are just strictly TA, like specialties. We have OG gold bugs. We have Ed Bugles, Jeff Berwick. That right there, man, that's a solid freaking team that allows me to say, okay, I got my bases covered from every aspect, and now I can venture into things that are cutting edge, bleeding edge. And it so happens that many times I find myself encountering people who are very good at one aspect of crypto, who are completely ignorant about everything else. And I realize right away, because I don't talk about it out loud, but holy smokes, you really are stupid about this other stuff. That for me, I get through osmosis by being surrounded by these giants. Do you understand what I'm saying? I can put on the hat of one approach to crypto and think in that mindset. And then I can put on another hat from another approach to crypto and think in that mindset. And I can satiate different needs in the market and approach different investment opportunities because I am not at war within myself. I understand that there simply is different ways of seeing things. And I'm just enamored by the opportunity to be able to share the wealth that I have in intellectual capital with you guys. So again, it's cryptovigilante.io. Sign up for a free newsletter. It really is a work of love because I'd be doing this either way. Me and my dudes will be doing this no matter what. We love crypto, but the fact that we're able to unite within a platform that holds us accountable, where we are like, we have that human element and accountability, where we're not just anonymous, where like, even if there is one of us that is anonymous within our group of analysts, the social validation is lent over by someone who's public like me or Jeff Berwick. So it's the more we move into the future, the more valuable and the more important it is to have real human connection. And we make an effort to do that, to offer that to our community as well through Anarchapulco and Librepulco now in Europe. That's extremely important, guys. I'm just delighted. I'm just delighted to be able to share this with you guys. I'm really happy for everything that is happening in crypto. And I'm the first one to say and to share that indeed crypto is a place that is riddled with uncertainties and things that are unknown and things that are yet to be discovered. But because it is such a rich environment that we need to look out for each other. Like, we all need to look out for each other. And anyone out there that's sending you confusing messages, seriously, fuck them. Like, because from moving forward, like, what matters is integrity and integrity, honesty, and that real human connection, that real human accountability. And that's something that I am blessed to be able to give to you guys, to offer to you guys. And it's cool to know that, like, I have this responsibility now, because now there's this AI thing, which would lead any crypto newsletter initiative in the future that would compete with us. It would lead them to have a real hard time in trying to establish trustworthy reputation. So more power to you. Again, if you do it all on your own. I personally know from my experience that I couldn't do it on my own. Like, being me, I know that, the space is just that rigorous and demanding. And the real, crazy thing about this is that, like, someone like me, I wish I could just, like, talk about one topic of conversation and be done. But the reality is that there's so much to talk about in crypto. You think that crypto is a place that would be very intuitive. And that was always my supposition, because indeed, by its nature, it is. It speaks to who we are as human beings in the most relatable way, which is, person to person, in the way that we relate with each other in real life, but augmented through technology. And I always consider that to be very easy and accessible, and indeed it is. And so we are very much in a very still in crypto's history, in a very elementary manifestation of what crypto and Bitcoin's capable of. And now that we're moving into more maturity and people are beginning to gamify experiences within crypto that allow them different ways of interacting with one another, it seems as if through the complexity itself created by marketing, not complexity created by people who are just dealing with one another in the market, the complexity in the understanding of these technologies will only ramp up. And how is that? Well, there's this whole thing called the financial establishment and big tech. We're talking about the most revolutionary of technologies that constantly hold the entire establishment in technology and finance up against the wall. Like I said earlier, in which at any moment in time, some dude, some woman can drop an application that could completely destabilize an entire approach to market that is dominated by centralized giant, like an Amazon or a Google or a Meta. And when it takes off, it could literally put these giants out of business. So you have to be aware that you live in a world surrounded by disinformation now. These tech giants and Wall Street, as much as it seems as if they're embracing crypto, you have to be on your P's and Q's, knowing that they're also looking out for themselves, that they themselves are embracing these technologies while they themselves make sure that they stay with their seats on the table. And there is a whole world behind them of their limited partners and their portfolios that also look out for their investments. So the revolution will not be televised. That which will disrupt crypto and Bitcoin and big tech is something that you will find from independent researchers like myself, like my team, who have an incentive to give you the most objective, down-to-earth assessment of the space as possible at all times. So just keep that in mind. Keep in mind that, like, the entire world of finance is pressured from now into eternity to make sure that crypto doesn't get out of line. And it seems as if they don't realize the peril in which they find themselves, because these technologies are only growing exponentially. And the idea that they're giving people in crypto is that it's just business as usual, that Bitcoin is just an investment vehicle that fits right in with big tech and big tech and finance, traditional finance, and it just fits in, and it's just another investment vehicle, another quote unquote tech stock, right? And they sell this illusion because in reality it is, and it's an illusion that they have to mask with dollars that they throw at it like crazy. I personally see Michael Saylor as a fall guy, to be completely honest. Like, I see him as a dude positioned and put in the place of someone who has to play that role in order to create a Federal Reserve-like structure to pump fiat into a Bitcoin that has been tamed, that is docile, and that fits into the mold of the existing infrastructure and that is not threatening anyone. So for how long will that hold up? Because out of nowhere, any dev, any person with a little wit can put out an application that just completely changes everything, completely destabilizes everything. It can happen overnight. I'm not saying it's going to happen tonight, but it can happen. It can be in 10 years, 20 years. But we're in a point in time where what can happen and be realized in 20 years, 10 years can happen in 10 hours, guys. As I'm talking to you, some dude can be like creating a stupid app that just changes the paradigm of everything and the outlook of everything. I gave you the example of Zeus and Solana, and that's just barely scratching the surface, because sooner or later, people are going to realize that the blockchain infrastructure that is mature and robust is in itself a supercomputer that allows you to program whatever you want on top of it. And that is where the real competition for the future lies. It's not in the illusion that the space that is highly marketed with all of these giant backers behind it is giving you. No. I mean, it's not like, you know, you fit into the mold of everyday finance, and no, it's the reality is that we are moving into an age of, I call it Bitcoin or crypto athleticism, where the best networks, the most efficient networks will be able to yield more, create more by saving people money or by generating wealth. And this is something that you cannot keep, like, it's like a kink hose. The longer they give you this illusion that it's just business as usual and that OKX needs to go buy a building and look boomer like Chase, like, the longer you play that game, the more, yeah, you will confuse some and maybe demoralize or like lead some to think it's game over. But dude, we're far from game over. There is no game to be over. This is an evolution that the smart will only gain more ground. So if you're sitting on your laurels thinking that Bitcoin and crypto are nothing more than just another tech stock that does nothing and it's just an investment vehicle for Wall Street, then bro, yeah, like I'm okay either way. This world can go either way and I'm ready for it. Why? Because I have the team that I have the research and the certainty, right? Because there's nothing 100% certain, but I have a higher degree of certainty than most actors in the market because I have the badass team that I have, because they are even willing and able with the criteria and the arguments to even contradict what I say and my personal outlook. I wouldn't be surprised if even my analysts watching this were to say like, Raf, I agree with you on this, but maybe you're exaggerating on that, because that's what I love. I love that about them. And having like such a badass group of dudes as OG Bitcoiners watching my back, which I'm offering to you to watch your back, fuck man, it's just, it's beyond a blessing, and it's beyond a blessing. It's nothing but love. It really is nothing but love, because this space only matures and only grows in accordance to how intelligent you are. My goal is to make you as wise and intelligent as possible. And it's because if I do that for you, then you will be a smarter actor in the market, and that will help me. Why will it help me? Because I see this as almost like a natural law, logical conclusion, where these technologies have a telos, an endpoint. They all lead us towards a convergence of humanity, where we find ourselves embracing technologies that are ever more efficient, faster, cheaper, and I want to be part of that. And so if you become smarter, then that means that you are going to make decisions in the market that are going to drive up the value of those things which are best and most beneficial for me and for everyone else. So it's a gift that keeps on giving. And this is why it's so important to understand the construct that Bitcoin and crypto are like a brain waking up, and you and I are nodes of this brain waking up, and that we are the most important aspects of these technologies, and that we are in a Highlander competition. We really are. We really are in a Highlander competition, where all of these networks are going to be fighting for your investment, for your attention. And there is no way to close Pandora's box now. There could be psyops that can lead you to think that maybe that things are just now set in stone and that they're going to continue to be the way that they are now. Like, you kind of want to live in that comfort zone. And I understand that. That's what you guys have been accustomed to. Humanity has been conditioned to follow a leader, to, be conditioned to accept things as they are, listen to authority, all of that stuff that you've been indoctrinated with. Like, I completely get it. I get it. I understand that that's something that we've all been conditioned to. I understand also that the rate of change that we're accustomed to is a lot slower than what I'm talking to you guys about. I understand that too. But like George Gilder says, innovation in information science is called surprise. And you will be surprised. You will be surprised. I will be surprised. And the best way to prepare for these surprises in the market is to be well taught, well learned, and to have an open mind and be knowledgeable and ready for any movement in the economy. Whether it be a macro event that maybe we in our generation are not used to, like the contraction of the monetary supply, where the Fed is not printing things as we're accustomed to, we're ready for that. We've been covering that. Or maybe it's because there are actors that have a lot at stake and can lose a lot based on the disruption that crypto offers the world. Well, they will make sure that they give conflicting messages to you. And it's at those moments in time where you need the blessing that I have and that I offer you guys. You have no idea how many smart people I know that are brilliant, that make big mistakes in the market because they're very smart about one thing, but they don't have because like I said, this is multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary. They don't have the wide scope that a whole team effort has in their life. And I've seen people get hurt because of that. Yeah, anyone that tells you they have it all figured out in crypto is nuts. Like, run away. Look for integrity and seek out independent thinkers, and seek out spaces that are not echo chambers, places that allow for dissenting opinions. Not stupid opinions, because nobody wants to waste time, but real dissenting opinions, right? And good argumentation. And for the longest time, and it still is the one place in crypto that actually does that. We're still the only place that gives you that. So, and you know, it's incredible, because like when you put something out in intention in life, you put an intention out, you attract that energy with that intention. And a lot of people have told me, Raf, you know, like, I love everything you guys offer with your conferences, Anarchapulco, Liber, Pulco. But in reality, guys, when you provide a space with an intention that is awesome, what's end up happening is that the people echo that intention. And when they come into our space, like subscribers, they create an ambiance that like magnifies that intention. And the community that comes together is just fantastic. It's outstanding. And that alone is it's invaluable, you know, the friendships we make with one another. For example, I was recently at a hackathon, and a subscriber came up to me and was like, you know what, Raf? What you guys told me a month, 2 months ago to prepare for in the market, some dude, a friend of mine, literally just finally realized, and he's late to that move in the market that you guys told us to get ready for. As time goes by, the psyops are only going to become more intense. As time goes by, there's going to be more and more confusion. And as time goes by, I think our network is going to just become more and more in demand. So, you know, the time is now to get acquainted with us on a as intimate level as possible. And for that, I would say the Vic is that place, so that when the masses show up, because they are showing up already, you are ahead of the curve. It's day zero. It's day zero in crypto history still. Bitcoin is in crypto. These networks are just now waking up to what they're truly capable of offering the world. And I know some people will think, Raf, but you know, the space is 16 years old. Yeah, man, but there's so much to this that like we are truly just getting started. What if I told you that Bitcoin is a supercomputer waking up, for example? What if I told you that Solana is a network with similar capabilities? What if I told you that we can compute whatever we want on the best of blockchains? What if I told you that privacy is only going to become more and more valuable as time goes on? What if I told you that no matter who you are, you're going to become more and more vulnerable to all types of vulnerabilities on the internet? What if I told you that operational security, OPSEC, is not just something cool to know, but now it's a necessity to have in your skill set? By the way, we're about to pull out an amazing course on phone security. Stay tuned for that. That's going to be incredible. We love you guys. And wherever you are in your crypto journey, know that making mistakes is part of the process. And know that this space will never stop innovating. And know that there will always be incredible opportunities in the market. And these opportunities are positioning themselves to only grow exponentially as time goes on. And if you know how to position yourself adequately, and you learn what to look for, and you know how to preserve your wealth first and foremost, you will have the clarity of mind to find the next greatest exponent alongside us. Peace, love, anarchy. Now we are dealing with a possible world war. Some will say we are already in a world war. My condolences and prayers go out to everyone suffering under tyranny. It really sucks. I'm really sorry. But it seems as if people are starting to wake up regarding crypto more and more each day. And so it's in the description right here to read, where we give our secret sauce and what we teach our subscribers, because things are just that bad. You know, everyone needs this information. People need to know about sound cryptocurrencies that are actually private by default, and to know how to properly use crypto.